Hello, Steve White, Steve White, saying, a little bit of Star Trek news. And this was disappointing because when I first saw this, I got excited because what I thought this was, from the image, was a re-release of the sort of famous vintage model. I think it was from Polar Lights, of Spock with his phaser out and communicator out fighting a three-headed snake. Instead, it's a Hallmark ornament recreating that scene. And I'm like, damn, I was hoping they were re-releasing that. They're also doing a shuttle with sound and lights. And we get the Cerritos. Is that it? Oh, we're also getting the Enterprise G. So we're getting a few ornaments. Oh, we're also getting Nurse Chapel from Strange New Worlds. And is that it? I think that's it for Hallmark. So what else has been happening in Star Trek news? Not a lot. Various interviews promoting Strange New Worlds, of course, because that's coming up soon in a bit more than a month. Yeah, about 6 weeks, I think. And look at, The Last Starship number 7, but that's really a really bad post-burn Shatner mashup. It's just a bit of a mess. They're doing an Art of Lower Decks book, which is nice, but I'd rather have the art of all the other shows before we get to the new Trek ones. Like we've got a book on Star Trek the Motion Picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, First Contact, the JJ films, Discovery, Picard, the original series, the Roddenberry Archives. So we've got a bunch of Star Trek books, but I'd rather one all on the original series, one all on Next Generation. Each series deserves its own art of book and history. So I'd like to see that before Lower Decks. They also did one for no, I'm thinking of one of the He-Man series. They did one for one of the ones I don't care about. The Paramount CEO basically highlighted Star Trek as a beloved franchise when they were talking recently. So they haven't forgotten about Star Trek. What they do with it, we have no idea what they're going to do, but they haven't forgotten about it. The Strange New Worlds cast talks about Sulu, McCoy, Puppet Pike, and Tearful Season 5. Let's have a quick look at that. I'm just on trekmovie.com browsing. CCXP Mexico had some panels, and this is where, what did they say? Romaine was being asked if there were tears. She said, I think there wasn't just a series fun hour. There were several episodes in season 5. They did a great job of wrapping up a lot of character storylines in season 5. Season 5 is just an extra 6 episodes they added on to season 4 to finish off all this storylines. So they just extended season 4. And they should have split it in half at 8 episodes so you had even seasons. Instead we get a normal season 4 as it would have been, and then these extra random 6 episodes being treated like a season 5, like a shortened season 5. So there were basically a lot of episodes with emotional beats throughout season 5. And there's a bit of crying in all of them. Peck was very excited. So just a few regular sort of quotes. Nothing really exciting here. Nothing really much. We know we're going to see Sulu and McCoy. I'm guessing they'll just be in the last episode, just sort of making random appearances to establish they're on the ship at that point, which would have set up a year 1 if they were going to do it, but now they're not. So it's kind of a nice nod to those characters. And I don't mind the Pike series ending off showing everyone in place for the original series. I'm not bothered by that. But Pike doesn't need to die. He can save those, make sure those kids who live, and he can go retire and live on his farm and just not bother anyone. He doesn't need to die. He just needs to stay out of history. So they should have found a way around that. I hope they do. It's a different timeline. And some, it's a different universe, but it's definitely a different timeline. So they can do something like that. I'm guessing there'll be a very emotional death of Pike, or a very sort of celebrated saving of Pike at the end of the series. I think is how that's going to end. But it's hard to tell how that's going to go. But not really much there quote-wise to look at. There's acknowledgement of the puppet episode. It's so frustrating. I don't know why they didn't do a Q episode or just use Trelane like Q and have him turn the crew into puppets or Vulcans. Those two things they wasted whole episodes on, which are embarrassing. But they tried to actually explain it in universe, in science. They could have just had put them into the Tree Lane episode where he turned them into puppets for a while, into Vulcans for a while, along with, you know, messing around with the love and relationship between Spock and Chapel. That would have been a much better way to do that. That's how you do that. They did that in Next Generation, Voyager. They had Q appear, and that's what they could do, whatever crazy fantasy scene they wanted to do, and it was all explained by, you know, the godlike entity that can do whatever he wants, instead of trying to explain it in real, well, in universe and with, you know, science. So yeah, that's about it news-wise. I don't think there's really anything else. They're doing some big event for the 60th anniversary at San Diego Comic-Con. William Shatner teases something. There's another auction of Section 31 furniture and Academy knickknacks. And a Khan musical coming to Star Trek Las Vegas in 2026 and a community theatre near you. I think that's about it. I'm going to go.